this is ICT 8. We're going to be looking at some basic formatting. If your ribbon isn't showing, your ribbon is this item, just click on the arrow. And it's just more convenient if you leave it on all the time. So when your paragraphs start on the left edge with the rest of the paragraph, it means you have to double space between your paragraphs. But for most assignments, teachers will want you to double space your document. So we want to double space this. Command A will select all. Another way to select all is to use the Edit menu, select all. The icons up here will be more self-explanatory when you get used to them. This up and down arrow means control spacing. And if you hover over this long enough, it tells you what it does, line and paragraph spacing. So we want to double space. Okay, so we're still on one page here. Now, in your textbooks, in your novels, in your magazines and newspapers, their right edge does not look like this. It's not ragged. This is called a ragged edge. They like to line up the right edge, and that's called justify. So if we hover over this, we see. So we have options of doing left, center, right, and justify. Right is not used very often. You might use it for poetry. Center is used for title pages and poetry as well. But left is for essays and justify is for essays as well. But I think justify looks better. Now, we don't want to quadruple space between paragraphs. And if you don't know where a paragraph is, you can always click on this backwards P. So I can also tell where there's spaces as well as paragraph breaks. Okay, so we want to delete this. We want to delete this. And we select all. The way we tell that there's a new paragraph, well, there's blank spaces here. But we want to help the reader, and we want to use this top bubble. And it says first line indent if you hover over it long enough. So we want it in ½ an inch. Now it's very easy to see where a new paragraph starts and where a paragraph ends. And I'm just going to copy everything here. I just want to duplicate it. Okay, so the reason why we have page numbers is when we print it out and you accidentally drop your pages, or the teacher accidentally drops your pages, they'll know what order to put them back in. Sometimes it's obvious by reading one page to the next page, but it's easier just to look at the page numbers. Okay, one last thing about justify. If for some reason you narrow your margins or pick a font that's too large, strange things will happen. So here, the spacing gets very large, okay? That's because it only has a few words to fill in the gaps. So if your font size is too big, this will happen as well. So what you need to do is just reduce your font size so you have more words on the screen and you won't get these big gaps between your words. And that completes this lesson.